first thing I wanted to say is that I make a conscious effort to be non-political. And I think it's important for me to just kind of try to remain neutral on things and be objective. So I'm going to make a little deviation this morning, and you may deem this as a little bit political, but I think it's something that I really wanted to share. And in view of what's happened to small businesses throughout this state over the last 2.5 months or whatever it's been, I think it was, it could have been handled better by the powers that be here. And you know, my thing, and I've talked to a lot of you about this already, is that in my mind, every business is essential to someone. And to pick winners and losers and decide who gets to be open, who doesn't, that really, I think it's unfair, and I think it's arbitrary, and I didn't feel that was the way that this should have been done. Understanding that we gotta, you know, look out for people, and there are people that are more vulnerable than others, and we need to be aware of that and protect those people. But people have a right to earn a living and provide for their families. So, you know, hopefully, if anything like this happens again, they'll do a better job. But I just had a real problem with that. And you know, the small businesses drive this economy and drive the U.S. economy. And without small businesses, the economy is going to do very poorly. Small businesses create wealth. They do so much for the economy. They employ 80% of the people in this country. And small businesses are really taking a hit during this thing. And that's why the unemployment is so high, and you know, just unbelievably high. And all these things are happening. Now, things are starting to reopen, so we do seem to have some light at the end of the tunnel, at least here in Spokane. I know if you're on the west side, it's still a little stricter over there right now, a little tighter, you know, and that's their leadership doing that. So I wanted to address a little bit too about the fear out there. There's still a lot of fear and anxiety, and people a little bit apprehensive about all this. And of course, this is a change. This is an unknown. And as human beings, we tend to resist change, and we tend to not like unknowns. And our reptile brains kick in, and we, you know, it's survival, fight or flight, and that sort of thing. So when your reptile brain does kick in, you know, you focus pretty primarily solely on that, and it's just trying to help you survive. And it's hard to focus on anything else. It's hard to think about working on your business and planning and doing things like this and all this when you're scared, or you're in fear, or you're wondering if your business is going to survive, that sort of thing. So I get it. We need to, you know, try to stay together as a community and help each other, and we will get through this. You know, my take is we will get through this, and the economy is already starting to recover, believe it or not. And the news is getting more positive. If the news media would actually tell us that, which is a lot of them, you know, all you're hearing still now is kind of doom and gloom and that sort of thing. But, and I know there's frustration out there. I know there's anger out there. I've talked to a lot of you about this. And one thing we need to really do right now is keep a positive attitude, stay positive, stay genuine, and be a leader. Every one of you business owners are leaders in the community by default, if nothing else. By being a business owner, you are a leader, like it or not. And it's important that as leaders in the community, we stay positive and stay focused and help people and help other businesses and help ourselves and help our employees and help our customers and help our colleagues and whoever. There are some fantastic opportunities out there right now that are presenting themselves that may have not been apparent, or still may not be too apparent. But if you're looking for them, there are a lot of opportunities in a lot of businesses that were not even thought of 2.5 months ago. And look at where we were 2.5 months ago. Look at where, you know, the stock market was, where unemployment was at a 50-year low. The economy was roaring. It was maybe the best U.S. economy we've ever had. And 2.5 months later, here we are. So anyway, we have to stay positive, stay the course as far as staying focused on your business and keeping your business going and trying to grow it and be ready if you have opened or never closed or are starting to open or whatever point you are in the process. Just be ready to take the next step. Always be ready to take the next step. And you know, this is a tough time. This is an unprecedented time. So I get that. Anyway, everybody knows the team. Here we are. Jennifer's here. Kendall is here. We're in the same room together. Believe it or not, we're in our training room. And we're all online here together. And it's great to have everybody back in the office. And we are in our new office. If you're not aware of that, we have moved into our new office in the Spokane Home Builders Association building. So happy to be here. I don't need to do the housekeeping because we're not together in the same building. So we're not going to worry about where the restrooms are. I hope you know where that is. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to take a couple slides that Brad has done. Brad Sugars has done over the last couple months. And this first one is positive communication. Now these are from webinars that he has done, and Kendall sent an email to everyone with the links to these webinars. They're 1 hour in length. I would highly recommend to watch them if you haven't already. But I just wanted to emphasize a couple things that he went over because I think they're really important right now. And one of those is positive communication and looking at your vision and your goals. And you need to share those. You need to communicate those. Hopefully you have a vision for your business that you have articulated to your employees, to your customers. People know what the vision is and they can buy into your vision. And then again, this is having a positive attitude and working forward. I know it's tough right now because it's almost like you're going through the 5 stages of grief if you think about this whole COVID thing. I mean, it's like denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. So, you know, and Brad's saying it was shock, denial, anger, depression, acceptance, and then problem solving. So we need to be problem solvers right now. And we need to communicate our vision with everybody. We need to, especially if you have team and employees, make sure everybody's on the same page. We have a common goal and we're working towards that together. And if you don't, you know, you need to give everybody a focus and something to work on and something to stay focused on that's a positive. Otherwise, where are they going to go? Especially your customers and your employees, you know, where are they going to go? You know, what is the news media bombarding us with right now? It's all going to be negative stuff. And if you don't give them something, they're still going to stay in fear. The reptile brain is still going to be there. And that's not where you want the mindset of everybody. So everybody needs to stick together, you know, as a company, you know, in your individual businesses, but you need to lead and set the tone, okay? So it's very important that you give everybody a focus that's a positive focus that they can rely on and they can turn to. And you need to show your passion and enthusiasm for your business. If you're down in the dumps, that's not going to instill confidence in your team, right? So you have to instill confidence. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be positive, whether you feel like it or not. I mean, that's the deal as a business owner. You know, and hopefully you are passionate and enthusiastic about your business right now, even under these conditions and what we've been through in the last couple months. It's important to stay positive and to stay enthusiastic and to, you know, project that to everyone and lead your team, lead by example. Okay, become stronger. Remember the saying, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So we need to get better. We need to get stronger. What have you learned? You know, what are you doing that you maybe never thought you would be doing? Or, you know, what have you learned about that you got out of your comfort zone and developed a new skill or a new focus or gained knowledge or experience? And right now, you know, you got to be brave. You got to show courage. No bad days. If you come in to a business and you've got employees and you're having a bad day, everybody's going to have a bad day. So remember that. They're watching you. Everybody is watching you. So you have to be strong. You know, we're going to survive this one way or another. We'll survive this and maybe even thrive. And to me, it's not a maybe thrive. We're going to thrive in the end. The people that, you know, those of you who are here today are taking the time to work on your business and are thinking about your businesses. And, you know, I commend you for that, because this is tough. This is tough. And we need to stay focused on that. And you will thrive in the end. The ones that are not proactive are going to get left behind in many cases. So, and communicate with all your people. And by what I mean all people, I'm talking about customers, vendors, suppliers, your team, of course, everyone in your sphere of influence. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know that what you're up to. Let them know the status of your business. Let them know that you're taking precautions to be safe. You're doing what you can to protect everyone, and you are proactive about it so that they are aware of that, and it makes them feel comfortable, and you know, it instills confidence in them. Okay, so get the word out. Talk to people. Don't hide from anyone, especially customers, and especially your team, and especially, you know, suppliers, vendors. I mean, even your banker, your CPA, your insurance person, your attorney, you know, be communicating with these people and let them know what's going on and how you're doing, and see how they're doing, right? Take a little interest in them, okay? All right. The next thing was on marketing and sales. I think it's very important. You know, we need to understand that it's a different game now than it was 2.5 months ago. And, you know, your marketing and sales needs to be more focused on helping and educating, and a little less on the benefits of what you do and provide for people. Okay. You know, in just taking coaching for an example, you know, we help business owners grow their business, become more profitable, and okay, those are benefits of coaching, but we need to focus on helping and educating, and we've done a lot of that in the recent weeks, where we are just providing webinars and roundtables and information and videos and all kinds of stuff just to help people and educate people. Okay, so come to that a little bit, and not focus totally on your business and what you do for people, but how you're helping the community and what you're doing to educate people and help them as well. We think that's important. And one of the first things you can do with your marketing is to do a SWOT analysis. Hopefully everybody got your pre-work done and you've got your SWOT analysis done. And that's kind of the first step to stepping forward with your marketing. And your marketing needs to shift right now. It really does. Remember, there is fear and worry out there. So be empathetic, be sympathetic in your marketing and the things that you're doing. Understand that people are feeling different about life right now, feeling different about the world right now. So you have to pivot a little bit and understand that and address that in your marketing. Pushy salespeople are not going to get very far today. So not that they would have prior to this, but especially today, right? And understand that people may take longer to make decisions, and you know, they may go slower. Now, some maybe go even faster, but generally speaking, I think people are taking more time and going slower. So you may have to have more steps in your marketing and sales processes that consider that and address that with people. So, you know, if you had maybe 3 to 4 touches before you could bring somebody on as a customer, maybe it's going to be 5 or 6 now, or maybe it's going to take longer in between the steps, or different things. So just understand that when you're out there doing marketing and sales, and do not be apprehensive about it. You have a right to earn a business or earn a living and market your business and do sales. And people understand that. I think anybody that would criticize a business for trying to market right now, I think, you know, they just don't get it. You know, I mean, they just don't get it. So anyway, videos are great. If you get video testimonials from clients or customers, is awesome. More video, people like video, posting videos. This is part of educating. This is part of helping the community. This is part of your visibility, reaching out. you know, with all this virtual world stuff going on, videos are very powerful. So if you're not doing videos, I would suggest that you do videos. Get them posted on your website, get them posted online, share them with people, those sort of things. Maybe just a little education piece, depending on your business and what you're doing. The next thing is customer centric. You know, be focused on your customers. Be focused on your sales process. Like I've said, be empathetic, be sympathetic, help them with learning, help them with training. You don't want to be pushy. You want to be hypersensitive to how some people are out there feeling, and address that with your sales and marketing. And the last thing on here is build your database, build relationships. We have reached out to people we have never reached out to before in different methods. We have used it. We've started a whole new marketing campaign that we've never done before, a digital marketing campaign in partnership with one of the local TV stations here. Never done that before. And we're reaching people we've never reached before and things like that. So build those relationships and build your database. This is a great time to kind of step out into the new world and explore maybe some places you haven't been before. Okay, so enough about that right now. Let's get to some planning. Okay, so you've all got hopefully you got your SWOT analysis is done. If you haven't, you can still do that, obviously, but hopefully you've got it done. So, you know, what are your top 5 strengths as a company? And that might be different than it was 2.5 months ago. And what are your top 5 weaknesses as a company? That might be different than it was 2.5 months ago. And you probably found out some weaknesses that really got amplified during this crisis that was like, ooh, now what? Didn't expect that, you know, and especially if your business got totally shut down, that is not a scenario most people think about. And that can affect you in different ways that you haven't maybe thought of. So doing your SWOT analysis is very important, especially right now. And, you know, your biggest opportunities. What are the opportunities out there that maybe you can step into that you haven't thought of before that have occurred to you because of what we've gone through in the virtual world here? And thinking about that and maybe adding a new area of business, shifting your business, doing more or curtailing your business and doing less, but doing it differently, things like that. I had a lot of conversations with a lot of business owners out there and a lot of great ideas and things going on, and they're coming up with things that they never would have thought of hadn't been for this. So, and then threats, what's the threats out there? One of the biggest threats right now is the unknown. We don't know, you know, what if our governor decides he's going to pull everybody back and shut everything down again or something like that. I mean, there may be a rebellion if that happens, but you know, there's things that we just don't know. We don't know how people are going to react to, how are their buying habits going to change, things like that. You know, like I mentioned earlier, they may make decisions slower on buying, but you know, what are their habits going to be? Are they going to go out to restaurants? Are they going to go out to you know, fitness centers, and are they going to be around people and do things in events and things like that? Are people going to behave differently? So, you know, there are some threats out there, that things that you need to consider particular to your business. And, you know, are people going to really want to see in your business that you are taking precautions and doing the right things before they come back and do business with you? So be thinking about those things as well. Okay. So SWOT analysis, extremely important right now, especially probably more than ever for everybody, is to do a really good job on your SWOT analysis and really look at where you're at. Okay, that leads us to your current situation. And, you know, where are you currently? You know, what is the state of your operations? You know, we've got clients that are still got clients that are closed, got some that never closed, got some that are starting to open, partially open, kind of getting going, you know, but not 100%, and, you know, all over the board. So really assess your current situation. Your cash situation obviously is critical. You know, you run out of cash, you're out of business as a small business. You all know that. So hopefully everyone took advantage as best you could of the PPP program and the other government programs that are trying to help small businesses and bolster your cash situation, which is really, that PPP thing was really awesome. If you're in the right mode to take advantage of that and leverage that, because it really did help a lot of businesses. A lot of my clients have really benefited from that. So, and your team, how's your team doing? How are they feeling? What's their status? Do you have people that are really apprehensive about coming back to work, or are they ready to go? You know, what do you need to do? Are there special considerations you're going to need to do? So what is your team looking like right now? And hopefully you've all taken care of your teams and external teams too. You know, even if you don't have employees, some of you are solopreneurs, you don't have employees, but what are you doing for the people in your sphere of influence, the people that maybe assist you in your business? You know, your outside team could be the person that does your printing, or the person that provides another service for your business in some way, a professional, you know, a CPA or a banker or something. You know, how's your team doing? And like I said earlier, you know, reach out to everyone. Make sure you connect with everyone. Current revenues and profits. Very interesting things happening right now in a lot of businesses. You know, it's important right now to understand your numbers. Probably now more than ever, to understand where you're at and what your outlook is looking like as far as projections of profitability and revenue, because you've got, you know, if you did the PPP and you got some money, you got some influx of cash and things, that's not going to last forever. So you have to start thinking about, what do I need to do? Where do I need to be? And, you know, what's that going to look like? And how am I going to address this with your marketing and your sales and all of that? And then, you know, this next one, your status as the owner, I think this is the most important one of all, because we've gone through some tough times, and I've seen a lot of my clients suffer, and that's been hard for me. Trying to help everybody as best I can. So please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself first. Very important. Your health, your fitness, your mental well-being, and all of that, because this is tough. And I know you're tired, and I know you're worn down, and we all are, but we can do this, and you will get through this. You will get through this. But take care of yourself first. Please take care of yourself first. And remember, everyone is watching you. You have employees, they're all watching you and how you behave and what you do. Okay? So set a good example. Set a good example. So important right now. More than ever, so important right now for everyone. And then you know, your next one, your marketing. Currently, we talked about marketing a little bit earlier. Your marketing needed to shift. It really did. It's going to be different now than it was 2.5 months ago. So where are you at? Are you ramping up your marketing? I mean, we just from our perspective here at our office, we are doing more marketing now than we have ever done before. And I've encouraged all of you to do more than you've ever done before. And most of you are, as far as I know, everybody is actually. You're doing more than you've ever done before, because it's so important right now. It is so important. And, you know, the businesses that are proactive about this and getting out in front of this are the ones that are going to do the best and seize the opportunities out there. Okay. And then the current outlook for your business, you know, depending on your status of your business, you know, how open you are or aren't, you know, if you're starting to get some revenue coming in that maybe you haven't had in the last couple of months, things like that. You know, what's your outlook? You know, I know we don't know how things are going to unfold and open up and go to the next phase and the next phase of this thing, and be more able to you know, have your business at full, you know, your full capability and capacity. You know, right now, if you're in the event of it, you know, most of you know Arborcrest. They've opened back up, but they are limited. They only have 5 people in this reservation only and things like that. So they're having to look at things differently. And I was talking to Nadine last night from Spokane Gymnastics, and you know, she has got some real challenges there with, you know, you figure how many students she had, a couple thousand students, and you know, they got to spread them out. They got to do things, you know. So what is the outlook? You know, are you ready for that? And what are you going to have to do differently? And how quickly can you ramp things up? Okay, so be aware of that. Be thinking about that. And you may not have all the solutions right now. You may not have all the answers, but at least be working the problem. So learnings. What are your top 3 learnings? Things you've learned from experiencing this COVID thing? I've learned a tremendous amount. And some things that were hard to learn, some hard lessons. And, you know, it is different now. So please take this very seriously. Think about what you've really learned and what you can do better in the future and how you can grow from your learnings, okay? And then your 3-year goals. This was really interesting. Your 3-year goals for the future and how those have probably changed because of this, and they may be a lot different, you know, because now we're going to be in a post-COVID-19 world going forward, and you know, things changed after 9/11. I know everybody's using that example and how the world changed, but the business world is going to change, and people's habits are going to change, and you know, there's going to be different things going on. So I'm very likely that your goals will change. So be aware of that. And your business will be done on, and remember what that means is a business that works without you. Now, if you're a professional service provider, you own a professional practice, a little bit different scenario, but you know, when will your business be to that point where you have the freedom as an owner? So be thinking about that. You should always have that in mind, and maybe that's shifted through this. Maybe you changed that date. Maybe it was 1 and now it's something different. Maybe it's further in the future. Maybe it's sooner. Maybe sooner. Okay, priorities. I think everybody knows, okay, what are your top priorities, 2 or 3 words, and then pick your top priority. And I'm like I said, I hope everybody's got your pre-work done, so you should have been through this sheet. What makes this the most important priority right now for you? And then obviously you're going to get to your goals. Make sure they're SMART. So you're going to derive your goals from your priorities. So look at your priorities, your 5 priorities, and then come up with your 5 goals. It can be 3 goals, it can be 7, whatever it needs to be. You know, flexibility there. But take your priorities and then boil it down to a specific goal to address each one of your priorities and what you're going to do. And then in a couple of minutes here, we're gonna put everybody in breakout rooms, so in groups. I'm gonna have to do a head count here because we've had some people come in, and it's just basically gonna be like you were at GrowthCLUB at your own table, but you're gonna be in your own little group. And then Jennifer and I will be coming in and out of the groups, and we will be assisting and you know, helping with the discussion. If you have any questions, like I said, if you have any technical issues or any issues, you can call the office. We've got the office phone here that we're monitoring. And please choose a facilitator for your group. Once you get into your group, choose a facilitator and have that person lead the discussion. So remember, what we're going to do is you need to go over your priorities, okay? And then go over your goals, discuss your priorities, what makes them, you know, get some feedback from the group, discuss your goals, share your goals as much as you're comfortable doing, and get some feedback from your group and get a discussion going. Make sure everybody has a chance to share and discuss your priorities and your goals, and you probably get some good feedback from the other business owners in the room as to, well, maybe have you thought of this? You know, that's a great priority, but this is also, you know, something like that, and get some help each other out. We love that. And then finally, you're going to fill out your goal planning sheet. So this is your primary focus today, is to get these completed as much as you can once you've had your discussion. We're going to go until about 9:45, so it gives you about an hour to do this process. I know that's a little quick. It's just a little bit different. So try to at least get your goal planning sheets to the point where you can finish them up later if you don't have time to get them done today. But please have your discussion. I think those are really valuable on your priorities and your goals. And then you can kind of work individually on getting your sheets completed. And if you need any help with any of that, send me a chat. There's a chat function on here. You can do that, or we can talk about it later. Okay, everybody hopefully is popping out of their breakout room and heading back into the main room here. We're just gonna kind of wrap things up for a little bit here, and then we'll have a break, and then we'll have our guest speaker at 10 o'clock. So a little housekeeping. On the chat function, you should have got the link to Mark Pond, the guest speaker. And you also got that in an email that Kendall sent out earlier. So you should all have that link. It is a separate link, so you have to exit this Zoom meeting and go to a different one for him. And that's starting at 10 o'clock. And then the other thing, letter to self. Oh, excuse me, she put a link on the chat room to letter to self, not to the Mark Pond thing, but to the letter to self. I think she's working on the Mark Pond thing right now. Okay, so letter to self is there. This is actually an email. It's not going to be a handwritten letter. Unfortunately, we couldn't figure out a way to do that. So you can set your email up to send yourself an email, and I would recommend around September 1st. You can pick a time you want. So you just have to go click that link, and just put in your email and a password you want to use, and then you can write yourself that email, and then you will receive that like normal as we do before the next Growth Club, which is on September 11th, believe it or not. So there's also a feedback form that was attached to your email that you got, so please complete that. And is that going to be, do they need to email that back to us? Okay, so you'll need to complete the feedback form and email back to us. And then we will collect those. Appreciate that. We'll follow up with you on those. And then, like I said, our next Growth Club is Friday, September 11th. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody then. So I would highly recommend staying on for Mark Pond. He's going to be really good on the database of the library system and how to use that, and the advantages to that, and help research and find businesses for your marketing purposes and all that sort of thing. So anyway, there we go. I think that's it. Thanks for coming to Growth Club. I know this was different. It wasn't quite as smooth as we'd hoped, but I think it did pretty well. Hopefully everybody got something accomplished, and at least you've got a good portion done, and you can finish up with me at a later time, and we'll walk through that. So, okay, we're going to take a quick break. So remember, 10 o'clock is our guest speaker, so be sure and get that link. If you have any issues, you can call the office here. And Bill wants to whoosh out of here, so we're going to whoosh out of here. So everybody, stand up. All right. Awesome, Bill. Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. All right. All right. See you all soon. Take care. All right. Bye.